What's going on, man? Back at it. How everybody doing today? Proud to be up. Blessed to see another day. We in the month of Ramadan. So, stay prayed up. Stay in good favor in God. Try to keep everything right. Alright, so we're going to get back into it today. Today is part two. Story of KareemHicks, the beginning of the OSA podcast. We're going to start this thing off and keep it going. So, just piggybacking off of yesterday, today's going to be about you learning more about me. Before I let y'all follow me on this journey, as y'all check me out and see everything that's going on as we get things together. Now, my life was a different kind of life, different upbringing than a lot of other people. I really would never say that my life was ever harder than anybody or easier than anybody, because for one, it's always somebody that had worse, or of course worse, really in a word. So of course it's always somebody that had it better than you, or is somebody that had it easier than you. So anyway, my life was difficult for me. I say that. So I was born to, well, I don't really even know my father's government name, to be honest with you. I think his name was Bunny or some shit. But I don't even remember his name, keep real to you. Of course I could figure it out, but at the end of the day, I don't even know the nigga's name, so my mother never really helped me with that part. So for me, my father was Wilford Lewis, a.k.a. Samad Lewis, a.k.a. Big Mod. Born and raised Newark, New Jersey, Mapes Avenue, Bergen Street, Lewis family resident, from Lydia Lewis, and Wilford Lewis. Of course, my father was named after his father. And, we had to figure out things from there. So I'm sorry I got off a little track. Just when I be thinking about stuff, it kind of always take me off to something different. But anyway, I'm going to check on my information, because shit, it be all over the place. So we just ride with me. Of course, we at the back door figure out shit later. But anyway, my mother's Michelle Hicks. She was born to Louise Eagle. I don't even remember my grandfather's name, to be honest with you. It be weird about life of people, so don't really judge, you know what I'm saying? Because, everybody don't really know everything, and some people like this different. I would have liked to know my grandfather more. I think, I know he was a doctor at Elizabeth General. It was rumored that I was born at Elizabeth General, obviously, so they say that he was in the room as one of the main doctors to give birth to me. But that's just some of the rumors that I heard, growing up and stuff like that. But my mother, that's definitely, I think, true, because I think my mother told me that. But anyway, I gotta really figure out my mother's father's name. That's crazy. Man, I don't know my mother's father. I need to figure that out. But that's just a part of life. Just a sidebar, life is about trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? So, life is real. So as you see people and you watch people, you notice different things about different people that they didn't even have a possibility to learn or figure out as they grew up in life. I'm 44 years old. I was born July 30th, 1980. And, this just was, I'm a product of my environment and a product of my life. And just, figure, I just grew up figuring out things on my own. So, anyway, now, I was born at Elizabeth General, and I was taken home to Michelle Hicks and Samara Lewis. Now, once I was born, my mother and my father was already living on Mapes Avenue in Newark, and that's the house that I was brought to, 79 Mapes. So my life really started right there at 79 Mapes. So obviously, I never knew my father, my biological father. I never even knew I had a different father. I never even knew that my father wasn't my biological father. I think I was like 26 or 24. Sidebar on that. The only way I figured out that my father wasn't my real father was because I think like one day I was in the house and one of my biological father's daughters called me. I think like once he passed or some shit, he passed away, and when he passed away, I think he had left some property and some money, whatever, so I think they had to find me or whatever to figure it out, how to, break the property down, different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they called me for that. That's how I met him. That's another story for another time. But yeah, that's how I figured out my biological. That's how I figured out my dad, my father wasn't my biological father. But he my father. I don't give a fuck with nobody. That's my father. I don't know nothing else. That's it. That's my biological father. That's the best thing that I was ever given. I'm grateful for him no matter what. I'm always gonna look up to him no matter what happened, no matter how it turned out, no matter what my life played for me. I look up to my father with utmost admiration. He the greatest man to me, most respectful man. The most thing I got from my father was humility and the will to do anything, because he made a choice from day one that I was his and never, ever, ever let it be known that I wasn't. So I admire him for that. I appreciate him for that. I'm always in debt. Well, everybody always in debt to their parent, but I'm forever in debt to my dad, because like he had a choice more than a choice for other people, because I literally wasn't his, and he was adamant to make sure that that was never the case. So I appreciate him for that. He the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because not for that, I don't know, I'd probably be dead or whatever. So I appreciate that. Now back to the story at hand. So yeah, I was born, brought back to 79 Mapes, and that's where I was at. So my mother and father, they grew up as strong people. My father, Samad, my mother, Michelle, they had everything. My father around with a lot of great fellas, a lot of legends in Newark at the time. So he had a name for himself. He was already a great person in the community on the South Ward section of Newark. He was known by everybody, and at the time, he was greatly appreciated. Uh, my mother was the same. My mother came from a good upbringing. My mother was born in Plainfield, New Jersey. So my mother's from Plainfield. My father's from North. Of course, my mother moved in with my dad, got an apartment on the 3rd floor, 79 Mates, and that's where he was at. I had a great life in the beginning as a kid. From 1 to like 5, really, my life was great. My baby brother Kwan Lewis, he was born '83, so he came into the house '83. We really had everything. My father was well off. My mother was well off at the time because they was, he was just hustling, ripping and running. He did whatever he could to, make it better for me. So he had opportunities to make choices, and that's how that went. He was hustling. He was ripping and running. He was a great hustler, from what we know, a legend in my streets. So, my life took a turn for the worse in '85. '85 was where my life got different because '85 was the year that my father went to prison. He was charged with assault, robbery. I think it was rumored that they robbed like I think a bank or some shit. I don't really know everything about it. I ain't sure of it. But I think he did like a big heist or some shit, or like a robbery. Him and some people, whatever. So, feds came in, grabbed him. I think they got off with like a bunch of money, some shit. The rumor is that the money was never found. So later we'll touch bases. I'm gonna stop right there, and we'll touch more about it later. All right, y'all have a blessing.